Okay.
All right.
Go.
Hey, Paula, thanks so much for joining. And you're okay if I record this, right?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Of
Okay,
course.
great. All right. Well, I want to say welcome to Being Heard. This is my first podcast of Being Heard.
Ooh, I like
And
that.
yeah, I am committed to every voice being heard, including my own. And so, with that, I want to have a conversation with you about my 7P's. And what I've learned through life is there's 7 things that really matter: passion, perseverance. You don't have to remember them all because I'll ask them as a question.
Sure.
Passion, perseverance, perspective, priorities, purpose, patience, and prayer.
Ooh, wow. Those are nice. I like them. Okay.
Yeah. And so the way it occurs to me is this is like a wheel. And when you're going around, if any one of them's out, it's like a flat tire, a little low tire. Things are going and they're kind of not as good as it could be. But then if you have 2 of them out, then it goes ka-funk, ka-funk, ka-funk. And then if you have more than 2 out, then it's just like stop because it's not working.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I found. So my first question is around passion.
Mm-hmm.
And so my question is, how do you take actions to increase your passion?
Oh, how do I take action to increase passion? I think it would be more the passion increases the action because the more passionate I am about anything
Yeah.
or anyone, I move in the action that I feel I would say compelled to, or um, what um, what resonates with that passion. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So it's not like there's a right or a wrong way. It's just that I'm following more like, I guess, my intuition in that moment. Um, what am I drawn to? What feels natural? What um as far as I think what feels natural as my maybe my next step, my next move, not where I have to sit back and go, okay, let me try and figure this out. What is the logical? I think in the past 2 years, I've learned to let go as much as possible the logical, because the logical is not being in that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else about that?
I don't think there's always, I don't, for me personally, as we're talking about this, I don't feel like there's just one passion. I think when we move, at least for me, when I move forward and what I'm passionate about, I'm finding like there's more that I'm passionate about. More
It,
opens up.
it builds.
It builds, yeah, because I'm consciously in a space of more awareness, more growth. Um, yeah, I have found that my passion, I get passionate about so many little different things that all actually have a commonality in a sense of where it allows me to feel that energy of love, that energy of like, wow, I love that. Like, and love as a whole, love for myself of how I'm feeling, but then how is it also impacting others that I'm connected to? So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
Now, the next one is perseverance. And so, what is worth so much that you would push through anything to have it? So, perseverance is like,
I would say immediate for me that comes up is my own self-worth, my the love, again, the love that I have for me, the peace. Um, persevering in peace, persevering in the love, persevering in what true, being really authentic, being truly who I am. And what is it, I guess, what are my personal actions to maintain that would be it. And for me, that comes in play with meditation, going within, recognizing if I'm triggered, why am I triggered, without any anger or pointing fingers, because it's really about me. Being honest with myself, and being present, always being present and speaking my truths.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is there anything else about perseverance that you just want to throw out there?
Perseverance, I think, doesn't have to be something perceived as hard. I think in it, or how can I say, maybe it's just, it's about you. It's just to make it about you, because it is always about you. Persevering in what, going back to the passion. What is your passion? What is your joy? What is your love? And what do you do to be persistent in it, to persevere in you, persevere who you are.
I heard suffering is optional.
Suffering is optional, so it is a choice. Absolutely, it's a choice. Do you want to choose suffering, or do you want to choose joy and love and peace, etc.? I mean, all wrapped with a bow as a gift to yourself. There isn't a wrong choice, to be honest. I mean, for anyone, it's just what it is. But those are my choices and the perseverance.
Awesome. The next word is perspective. And so, would shifting your perspective change your level of joy in the moment?
So when you're saying shift your perspective, okay, can you say that again?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Would shifting your perspective change your level of joy in the moment?
It can. It can shift it to even higher, or based on my perspective of whatever it is, it could lessen it. I mean, it can change it in a second. It is perspective, I guess, perception. Yeah. And so my perspective, absolutely. And there are times that, I will sit back when it's one that shifted my joy to a lower level. That is me taking a notice of maybe a why, or even recognizing, okay, in the moment, I'm perceiving this as such, and it's probably not my ideal perspective. I'm going to honor in that moment what I'm feeling in that. And how can I shift that perspective to something higher and better? Yeah.
Cool.
And then I will go into that, to choosing a perspective that can shift that. where if it shifted me lower, where can it shift me into higher?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Awesome. Anything else about perspective?
Well, I think for perspective, everyone's perspective, I feel like everyone's perspective is very unique. None of us, I don't think any of us will ever have the exact same perspective. We might voice a similarity, but what it boils down to is the emotion and what is the belief.
Yeah.
Everyone's belief and emotion is going to be at a different level and have a different meaning. So with that, I feel never to be afraid, in a sense, to maybe voice a perspective with someone, to maybe get your own clarity if you're questioning it, where it's coming from a place of I'm being open and maybe just listen, hear, share, and what can I take away from it?
Cool. Thank you.
Mhm.
Priorities is the next one. And my question is, are priorities setting you up for success, for creating more joy?
It can. I guess I never looked at priorities, but priorities, I guess, for me would fall into a place of what is important to me, what along the lines of passion, where are my priorities? My priorities, yes, absolutely. For me, does successful me being it does set me up for success, because my priority is me. My priority is peace. My priority is the love that I have for me, unselfishly, me. But also, because if I set my own happiness and peace and love as a priority, it's also showing others around me that it's theirs as well. I'm the mirror, they're my mirror. So yeah, my priority, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can. I would say it does. It absolutely does. And I think this is something that many have forgotten, that as the meaning of priority, like for ourselves, because if you're not putting yourself as a priority, your peace and love and happiness within, how is that going to, if you don't have it, how does it's not going to benefit them. It wouldn't benefit me. It's not going to benefit them. How is it going to benefit anyone? Because not being fully whole in that sense.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is purpose. And my question is, your ladder up against the right wall. And then there's two parts. So first is your ladder up against the right wall? And then what are you building with it?
I think the ladder is always up the right wall, because it is only, well, okay, I guess maybe just speak about me.
For purpose.
I feel
Yep.
that my ladder is always up the right wall in the moment, because it's a choice that I'm making in that moment. And if my purpose is to make a difference within myself and others, and to be in alignment, then I have to act, I have to walk, speak. I mean, walk, talk, eat, sit, and breathe is her. Period. And to know that every second, there's always that moment, or I should say, where that purpose comes in to be more her. And to be compassionate, and then to be compassionate with myself too, if I feel, in my perspective, I'm not being her. And to always remember that the purpose, I am already fulfilling a purpose. So, and it's also to get out of my own way to fulfill it even more.
Yeah.
I think that's something most of us can tend to fall back on, like just to get out of our own way. And that's our thoughts, maybe some of those doubts, whatever. Yeah.
Cool. And then you were building with that is the
building. So I'm building it all the time. I'm always building. I'm never not.
Yeah.
I can't like not. I say like several years ago, was I really building in my purpose? I don't think so, because at that time, I didn't have that conscious awareness of what is it that with clarity, I guess, what was my purpose, like it was more on the outside versus on the inside. So yeah.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah. I think there's a purpose for me every day, the purpose to be more me than anything. And to get out of my own way. And am I building on it? I think yes. I would like to think so. However, I can say I personally, my own perspective, don't feel like I'm building at the level I want.
I got it.
Which is a level that I feel I know I'm capable of. Again, the getting out of my own way.
I'm glad you see your greatness.
Yeah, I have to remind myself of that. And that because now.
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah.
So then it's patience is the next word. And the question is, are there areas where you don't have patience?
Yes. I think that immediately what comes up for me when I find I don't have patience, but not where I'm like, like I'm in this frustrated mood or anything like that, where I feel like there's I feel I can tend to not have patience of knowing I haven't fully what's my word? I can feel it, but I'm just trying to find the right words that would explain it.
Sure. You can paint the edges of it if you want.
Yeah, I feel like I don't have patience in being fully of who I know I really am, if that makes sense. I have it. Okay, so there's a Neville Goddard quote that, well, it's buying the pearl. It's one of his lectures is buying the pearl, like where you have literally no doubts. There's that absolute 100% of a knowing, and where you literally never, you don't focus on the time and the when or the where or the how. It's just being in that complete, that utter stillness. I've been in this, I find myself in the stillness quite a bit, but at the higher level where, yeah. And that's a part of me that I think I'm putting too much meaning onto it, when it's to just let go of that and just be. So I feel a bit frustrated because I know I am to that point, but not to that point. To where I think I feel I want to be, and with my own business as well, I find that I can sometimes not have a bit of patience, because I feel, in my perspective, I should already be doing this. I should already be having the consistency of my clients every single day. I've been doing this for 6 years, and no, actually probably about now 7. So that I should be doing that. So there's that.
Anything else about that? You see any
Yeah.
patterns?
The patterns is getting out of my own way.
So the patience, how is patience playing to getting out of your own way?
Patience meaning of allowing myself to be gentle with myself and not judgmental. And it's not that it's not that I actually have to be patient and wait. It's just to be patient and doing it now. Being, having the patience to allow myself to just move forward without without feeling I have to do things a certain way, because it could always just be my way. So
when you were just saying that, a word popped in my head: nurture.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't know if that fit or not, but it was like, just this gentle hand nurturing.
Yep. Yeah. So nurturing of, I would say, accepting me as I am. So I'm accepting or as I am, and fully acknowledging and accepting what I'm very good at, and to continue to just build on it.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. We're down to the last question. It's gone by really quick. In prayer. And here, my question on prayer is, do you use the proud, grateful desire and love about yourself prayer? And maybe do you okay, this is me leading you, I guess, and that's a bad question, but I'll just say it again. So do you use prayer, and does it represent what you're proud of yourself, what you're grateful for, what you desire,
Mm-hmm.
and what you love about yourself?
That's very good. I like that. Actually, I would say that my prayer is every day in its of gratefulness, thankfulness, prayer of I guess you can say the prayer of acknowledging who I am,
Mm-hmm.
prayer of, because there's all forms of prayer and how we speak it and how we say it. So and I don't know if this is considered prayer, but when I say the acknowledgement and gratefulness of who I am, is that I will usually try to be consistent with it in the mornings to, it's defining who I am and the gratefulness, like of it's my I am, like who am I?
Mm-hmm.
And to express to myself that I love who I am. Like I will look in the mirror in my eyes and just say, I love you. Or sometimes if I'm feeling like I'm not in my ideal self and I feel like I'm talking to me, I will literally say to myself in the mirror, like, I got you back. I have you back. You can count on me. I'm always here. It's that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that is where I come with for prayer. I think in the past, and I think this was for many of us, prayer used to come from a place of not having and wanting. So you asked about the desire. So I always pray in thankfulness that even if physically in the moment, like the desire hasn't materialized yet, I pray in thankfulness that it's already given to me, because it is. It's already given to me. And it's a thankfulness of being heard, a thankfulness of acknowledging my desire, and a prayer thankfulness that it's already given to me. Now I just have to get out of my own way. I mean, I will sometimes say that, so I'm going to get out of my own way. I appreciate it because I know it's there. It is there. It's already here now. But I wanted to go back, like, I think when, growing up, it was, being taught that, God was outside of us, and that, and when I would pray for things, it's like, I want to have this. And such a complete difference now when prayer is usually, for me, it is for me the meaning now of prayer of thankfulness and prayer of gratitude, that I'm proud and happy that I'm unique, that I have so much love, and that love is shown to me in the universe, shown to me from everything and everyone. And I'm thankful and grateful that all my desires are already given, and the patience to allow it to materialize, or to show for me to allow myself to see it. I believe it, but it's great. That was a really awesome question, and it's really given me. I'm gonna sit here and like, yeah, that is it. That is totally it. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you spending time and looking, and you're really generous with your sharing. So thank you. What would you
Ah,
like? What would you like to be acknowledged for?
what do I want to be acknowledged for?
Mhm. It can be anything.
I know. I was like, acknowledge for being the example of love. Acknowledge for speaking my truth. Acknowledge for just being this amazing, unique individual who's impacting making a huge impact in others and reminding them who they are. That's what I want to be acknowledged for allowing, for me being as who I am, the love to that will help shift those who are ready and are seeking for them to remember who they are, allowing them to grow and to just be in that beautiful place of love.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Paula, I acknowledge you for not just the love that you have for the world, the space that you hold for people, and the gift that you are of giving, where you're giving and you're helping those people open up and receive the love, and they get to see their authentic self, their authentic trueness, and you're just spreading the love. Not just, you're spreading love, and it's just amplifying, and you're ringing the bell.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I do have to say this. I acknowledge you for being, acknowledge you for stepping out and just being Tom, being you, being an example and reflection of myself and just of everyone else, and just really tuning into yourself and allowing yourself to just be you and allowing yourself to shine and to have the impact on others as well.
Thank you. I got it.
Welcome.
So thanks for being here on this podcast. I'm going to stop it here.
Yep.
All right. Thank you for being here on Being Heard. Today, my name is Tom Graham, and I'm here with Paula Finney. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself, Paula?
Yes. So my name is Paula Finney, and I'm also known as Mystic Marina to quite a few people, I guess, on IG, on Instagram, and my clients that I've worked with for over the years. And what is there that I can tell you about myself? I am an individual that is in this phase of life of an awakened, loving being that has gone through many transformations. I was once every single individual that is probably listening to this podcast. And this is who I am now. And I do have my own spiritual business where I've helped thousands of people in their awareness and their awakenings, and come into the law of assumption too, that sets a major key in our lives. So I basically have sessions with clients. I have a course that helps others. I have a 7-week course, Transformation at its Finest, individually based. And it's really just diving deep, and I love seeing the transformation in my clients. It's the most beautiful, amazing experience ever. But I have 5 children. I have 3 adults, 2 teenagers, and I'm an individual that's always open to more growth, more love, more knowledge. And I've just been following what am I compelled to do? Where am I compelled to go? for that expansion for myself and others.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
I look forward to talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Thanks for having me.
All right. Now we're into let's recap whatever happened. So okay, so that was all the whatever we did.
Right.
Thank you. I appreciate you dancing with my questions. I was like, I created them and I was like, well, let's see how this goes.
Yeah, no, I like them. I really like them because they actually allowed me to take a step back and go, okay. Like, allowed me to feel into them.
Yeah.
And to really voice quite a few, like what did they mean to me, and it also allowed me to learn even more about me, does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, that's my intention, is to help people get related to themselves deeper.
Yeah, no, I liked it. I think those are really good questions. That's what I have to say.
Awesome. Thank you. As far as the timing and the format, did it seem too long, too short?
No, not too long, not at all. It seemed like it went a little fast, I think, but I mean, but it was like, I think it was really going in a nice flow. So I don't know if I could really say, it definitely wasn't too slow. I'm gonna say that. And I feel that, I think with anyone, will have a different answer and a different length of time, and I prompt you to probably, depending who it is, it may prompt you based on the response. Oh, well, what I feel like I'm going to ask this question based off of what you just shared, so yeah.
Cool. Is
Yeah.
there anything, just sitting back, if you just take a minute, take a breath,
Sure.
and take a look, is there anything that's in your heart that hasn't come out that you want to have come out?
In my heart that I want to come out would be what's come up for me quite a bit lately is I'm ready to be home more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that means truly, when there was that one question, what was it? I don't remember which P it was, but it was maybe it was the patience. Where I've been in my meditations of just being in the stillness. So I guess more of my heart is saying, oh, I'm wanting and desiring to truly experience more of the mystical of me, the oneness and the nothingness, being in that energy, knowing that is just where time, like, I've been there before, and it's been but I feel like that's just a tip of that's not even fully it. That makes sense. Like,
It only gets better from here.
Yeah. So as I expressed to my mentor Jojo, I'm like, I'm ready for my heart to just burst open. That's what it is. And that's where my meditations, I'm ready for that. And I'm not just that, I'm ready for what I'm meant to do, my desire is to do, and that is to literally be in the place of freedom, love, and yes, in the wealth of knowing that I'm the wealth, that I am creating based off of who I am, and in that process helping and reminding everyone it's there for them too. Yeah.
That sounds pretty juicy.
Yeah. 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 I've been ready for a while.
And what I heard is that's what you're calling home.
Yeah. Calling home is being really where, I guess you can also say, when I come to that place of where I'm feeling just a little, where I'm feeling like the old self, that I'm able to just shift right back into being known. The news, and it's not saying the new self, but my present desired self would never feel or think like the old self. Where it came into play was saying, like, how do I eat? How do I walk? How do I breathe? How do I talk? How do I write? How do, as that person, that's the clarity right there. So, and I know it's I know it is possible. And yeah, no, I have had quite a few of those moments of where nothing matters. It's just being in an energy of just love. And and just, and all I just want to do at that moment is just share it because you want everybody to just experience it, because that's who we are. That's home right there. That is home. And yeah, and my desire, I'm evidently in this, I call the 3D job. I feel like I'm there for a reason. I don't feel like it's just there. I just feel like I'm there to make a difference in some of the people who are on my team.
Yeah.
There's coworker of mine. He's gonna turn 30 in November. And I tell you, so now I know why I have a connection with him, because we're in that same month period. But I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, you're the same age as my son. And I'm like, we met working together online Friday on some just collaborating on some scenarios I was writing. But right before we started on that, I don't know how we got onto it. He just started talking about how he was finding that for some reason, he's not sleeping as well, like right away, and maybe he was overthinking or saying what, I can't remember how we got into it, but then in the end, it was me talking about, well, it's like, meditation actually helps you. Oh, I know what it was, because I told him I went to the gym in the afternoon. That's what it was. And then it was like, well, that's great, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, I need to do that because I tell myself I should and I don't, and I'm just like, and I just mentioned, I'm up meditating in the morning, basically just really touched on some spiritual stuff with them. And I said, like I said, just gonna let you know, it's like, I do a lot of intuitive stuff. So, he goes, oh, that's cool. And I just felt like I just helped him see things for himself in a different way. And, there was that appreciation. Thank you, like, it's great. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I could talk about this all day. And he goes like, well, let's get back to work. I'm like, I know, let's get to work, but that little piece that I felt like, and I feel like now that probably explains to me maybe why my energy was off a bit during the week, because I'm connected to all these people on a team, and it's just like, sometimes I sit back and I'm just like, somebody on here is having some flipping anxiety or something. And I'm like,
who is
yeah.
it? Who is it?
But yeah, I'm just like, because like, I could start off and I'm doing wonderful. Now, you just do you sit in the meeting for and I'm like, I'm sort of feeling like having a little bit of anxiety. I'm questioning a few things. And I'm just like, I don't have a reason to feel that, okay? Because no. So that was kind of an eye opener for me for the past
Mhm.
couple of weeks. And as Jojo expressed to me, we've talked about this before. I'm like, yeah, like as I am purging and releasing, every time I do, my energy comes higher, which means what? I'm gonna feel things even more. And I go, I know. I told her, I know. That's why I'm like, excuse my language. Like sometimes I could be sitting and I'm like, really? I'm like, you know, like when I in that moment, okay, let me just kind of try and shift this. And I said, but I'm grateful that I do recognize that I feel it because in the past, my energy wasn't as heightened that so I didn't know, I didn't feel it, but it was coming out in an emotion, but I didn't know. So now I know. I mean, even though oh, sometimes I feel it, but now I know. And
Yeah.
I can just go, okay. So then I'm not in fear mode because back then I still didn't know a lot about this stuff. And when she was working with me back then, I did go into fear mode. So now it's just like, oh, okay, here we go. Take care of that. So yeah.
So that's great. And you were with your coworker, you
Yeah.
were creating the space
Yeah.
for him to actually hear himself more clearly.
Yeah. There was one thing I recognized about him. Because we both started on this team at the same time. He started like brand new in the company. I already been in the company. I was just brand new to the team. So, I mean, I pay attention to everyone, but with
Mhm.
him, I noticed he uses his voice. So, I mean, he's a developer. So if he doesn't understand something that the senior developer and maybe a couple others, feel that maybe he should already know or take for granted that all of us should know all this stuff, you know, he's going to still say, I have a question on this. And somebody said, well, would you like to have a meeting and maybe go over this again? And he'll go, yeah, that would be great. And then, so what happens? My coworker who's been on this team, well, who's been in a company for 20 something years, been on this team for like 4 years, she'll say, I'd like to be a part of that too. I like to have it as a refresher. I'm like, got me in. Because so what's happening is he's opening the door for everyone else to go, yes, that would be helpful. So he's voicing maybe something I would have never thought of and makes sense. And he makes notes, and yeah, and he's always helpful. So what do? I pay attention to the person in the team that will um that acknowledges everyone, but also acknowledges themselves.
Mhm.
And I've been very fortunate on this team and the other team I was on that I had two coworkers that I worked closely with that were like that. So he's one, and on the other team was a gal that, lo and behold, her brother went to school with my son. But always acknowledging everyone on the team for their work. Great job. Great job doing this presentation, doing this demo. You rock, blah, blah, blah. He's on the same way. And he's But yet she's been on her team for a while and in the company for a while. And here's a guy who's never been in this company. And he comes right in, and it's like when I probably did my first couple of demos, there'll be a message, great job in demoing today, but not just to me, but to others. But I like the perfect example of self-love, and never hesitates to say, like, if we're working together, it's, I won't be available at this time because I'm going to go grab lunch with my wife.
Mm.
You know, his wife is a school teacher, so I think it's maybe 3 years married now. I think it's either 2 or 3, but it's like, you know, or hold on a second, my wife, well, when his wife was at home doing the teaching online, you say, hold on a second, my wife is asking me something. I like that. You know, it's like, he's not like, he's being very polite about it, but saying, it matters to me what my wife needs, and I'm acknowledging her. I like that. So I pay attention. I just love that. And so teaches me what more can I do?
Mm-hmm.
So I learn too from that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any suggestions of what I could do different, or people I could have on, or any my intention is probably to keep the same questions for a while.
I would say you can keep the same questions for a while, but allow yourself to, I'm gonna say, but I feel like you're gonna do this. It's expanding on their answers. Because I feel like I want to say to allow them to go individual to even go deeper. You allowed me to go deeper, you know, because they're very deep questions. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, allow yourself to feel in the moment. What more can I ask? Or to even, I would say sometimes how you usually say, like, this is what I hear.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe go there too. This is
Okay.
what I hear, like that. And then, because you're basically expressing to them, this is what your takeaway is. And if that's maybe not what they mean, they're going to expand on it. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah.
No, I think that would be really great. And who can you have on it? Who do you desire to have on there? What is?
I've got a list, and
There
I
you go.
started. I just
Right.
didn't know. And I was wondering, is there like I'm trying to think of how to ask for this. I'm looking for testimonials.
Okay.
Could you just give a sentence or 2 or 3 of what your experience is right here with this?
Oh, absolutely. I can do that.
Yeah.
So how do you want me to send it? Do you like
Just
the test?
speak it right here.
Oh, okay. I'm going to say this. I really I am truly honored and grateful that you asked me, number one, to be first one. And I love the questions. It allowed me in the moment to learn so much more about me, truly. And I am very grateful for that. And I actually felt, this is a manifestation. I have been daily, in a sense, for a little while. I'm heard, I'm seen. You just fulfilled you fulfilled both. I mean, this is just another step. I mean, I know I'm heard and I'm seen, but your podcast, what is it? What it's being heard. I was like, that's perfect. So yes, very grateful for this opportunity. And I think anyone that gets to be in this space with you is going to get quite a bit out of this. And those listening too are probably going to say, oh, I truly resonate with what was just said. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's perfect.
Yeah.